Welcome to another edition of Cooking with Luke and Friends. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Luke Brooks here. Another health edition of Cooking with Luke and Friends. I want to give shout outs to a few people, Mr. Jesse, Mr. Matt, and some friends, June, Sam, Mr. Pierce. A lot of good folks that actually watch the show. And if I miss your names, guys, just shoot me a quick email or actually just comment in this video below. If you haven't already, I want you to go ahead, like, and subscribe. Now, today is going to be a very quick discussion. So, before we start, I want you to know that the Health Edition only deals with talking about things that are actually regarding your health. And I'm just trying to get myself adjusted as I talk to you. I'm in Japan right now, just get myself situated. But a lot of folks do not realize that, hey, Luke, where you at when we're going to cook? My situation is follows. I wanted to talk to you because I know my folks. I want to see what you're cooking, what you're doing, things like that. Where you at? Again, guys, I'm in Japan doing my thing. Still working out, getting a kitchen. Right now, we're gonna do health editions. We're gonna talk about food. We're gonna do some more traveling, international tour, and I gave your heads up on that ahead of time. I didn't want people to feel like, well, this guy just stopped cooking. Cooking's gonna be probably not gonna be on a consistent basis. I can tell you that right now. I can strongly say it's not gonna be a consistent basis for about 6 months or so. But once I get situated again, we're gonna go back and cook, and we're gonna do a lot more things. But I don't want folks to feel like I abandoned them. You can always go to my Facebook group called Cooking with Luke and Friends. You can go there. You can actually check it out. You can actually see what's going on as far as regards to what we're cooking, what we're discussing, what we're posting. Contests do run through that group. The group is still growing steadily, and I thank everyone. I'd like to thank Miss Annalisa personally for actually helping us get the group where it is now. She is one of our major contributors, and she's actually been doing a lot of good things. So before I get to it, again, please like and subscribe. Now let's get down to it. First thing is first. We already talked about high blood pressure. Let's talk about obesity now. A lot of folks don't want to talk about that. And I've noticed by traveling here in Japan, things like that, tasting the food does not taste the same as it does at home. Actually, the food tastes a lot fresh, a lot healthier. Very good stuff. Now, you might say, well, it's just built in the genetics. That could be true. It could just be also that they're not all about just having large quantities. We have to understand, we're going to break this down in our series, that a lot of stuff back home in the States is being tampered with, where something might be a pure substance. Just say a carrot. A carrot, can't do anything else, right? But then we break it down, we process it. When you process it, you take one element from another element, it's not good for you, right? Your body's trying to figure out what you're doing. If you constantly flood your body with these things, that's when you start having insulin rises. That's when you start picking up the weight. That's when you have these urges where you gotta constantly eat, where you have the addiction to eat. And a lot of people don't know the difference. They don't know the difference between hunger and thirst. According to the math, you're supposed to have at least 8 glasses of water. That's the bare minimum, to be honest with you. You should be drinking about, depends on what your weight size is, but I wouldn't sit there and say drink 2 gallons. It depends on what your activity is. If you're an athlete, like how I used to play football, sports, things like that, you are going to go through 2 gallons of water because you're expelling it faster than you can intake it. But you not to drink a lot of water can do a lot of effects to you. With obesity in America is overwhelming. It was a study done by the Navy in regards to like which branches has the biggest weight, right? And out of all of them, it was the Navy. And let's think about that for a second. Let's think about why is it the Navy? Okay, the lowest was the Marines, so we could differentiate both of them. Marines are always active, always moving. PT is built into their regiment, more likely on a daily basis. And I ain't talking about no riding a bicycle or walking this and that. They're running, they're doing warrior PT, they're doing all these types of things. Where the Navy, not all parts of the Navy, but some parts of the Navy don't account for that. And overall, that's a reflection of society at the end of the day. You might say, wait a minute, in the Marines, yeah, they're in the thing, but it's instilled to them. PT's instilled to them. It's not like they're all the way with the Navy. And I can speak on that, based off of what I seen, what I did, man. The mission comes first at the end of the day, as they say. But, you know, don't want to deflect from what we're talking about for the country, for America or whatnot, but dealing with health with your obesity, because you got people with this obesity in the military, and you got a lot more other people out there, and a lot of health problems rise from it. And one of the things that you gotta do is look at what's in your refrigerator. You are what you eat, they say. So if you're eating healthy, you're not eating a bunch of fries, you're eating more vegetables than you're eating meat, and they're not processed, they're natural, organic. The best vegetables is the ones that you actually make yourself at home. I can speak to that. My father has a garden. Both my grandfathers had gardens. Great food. I mean, perfect. And you could tell the difference. Eating a cucumber, I could tell where the cucumber comes from. If it's fresh, it's not fresh. And when I mean not fresh, I mean GMO. Like, it can look good, but you sit on the counter. I don't know how many you deal with that, but you sit on the counter. That's not good for you. But obesity overall is probably the number one killer in the United States. You lose lack of sleep. It can mess with you sexually. You can mess with your mind. You start taking all these medicines, and I'm going to talk about all the medicines. And with that in mind, what are the ways that you can actually conquer obesity? One thing that I will tell you is this: you want to go ahead and get your blood tested. Go to a doctor, a health doctor, have them do a blood test on you. There are certain foods that links to your blood cells that can actually prevent you from losing weight. And it might be something healthy, but your genetics, because remember we talked about genetics, your genetics is telling you this is going to make you fat. I'm going to hold on to this. Versus, hey, this stuff right here is not going to be attaching to the cells. It's going to go out. Came in, it's going to go out. Another thing is measuring your water intake. Measuring your water intake, knowing that, okay, in the morning. And don't try to chug it at night. We always tell people this. Don't think that you're going to be hydrated if you drink a whole 4 or 5 cups at night before you go to bed. That's not how it works. Water also helps with your metabolism. When you have lack of water, your metabolism slows down. So you will want to get the metabolism back up and running on the right path. One thing I will also tell you too is that you want to eat more smaller meals throughout the day, not 3 big meals. We grew up in this tradition that you gotta have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's not necessarily true. You can have food in between that, and you have a little bit. You're burning. Your body's like, okay, I can burn it, and you can tell this. How many of you ever dealt with a situation where you sit there, you eat a big meal, you get sleepy? Your brain is telling you, hey, we gotta slow down, we gotta process this, right? But you don't want to sleep on a stomach full of food. That's not natural. One thing that I tell people too, and I'm not even jumping into the workout portion yet. One thing I do tell people is just look at what you're eating, as far as looking at the back of the box when you go to the grocery store and looking at if there's anything that's in plain English. Not all this chemical words, these big loud words, because if you do that, you put yourself in a bind where you're like, okay, this is going to work, and it doesn't work for you. One other thing that I would tell people is this: if you just drink water for 30 days, for example, I'm not saying just drink it alone, But you drink water, you replace it from your sugary drinks, from your sweeteners and things like that. And you can go with water for 30 days. You'll see and feel the difference of your body. You have more energy, your skin's gonna be a lot better, you're gonna feel more energetic, and you're gonna have a lot of possibilities. Now, I don't want to go over and over just talking about obesity. We're going to lead into another conversation of some of the issues that goes along with obesity. So I don't want you to miss out. I want you to stay tuned. We're going to come back with more stuff. Again, click on the next videos. Videos should be somewhere around here on the box. Go ahead and click on those. I have recipes for you. I have articles for you. I even have a group. We are ready to help you and help you get on the right path. Again, my name is Luke Brooks. I thank you for tuning in. And this is Cooking with Luke and Friends, the Health Edition. Talk to you soon. Take care.